Welcome to the Good Pod. I'm Charlotte, brought to you by Bible Theology Ministries. We explore Christian topics, theology, and Bible truth. You'll also find hymns, Bible studies, and God's promises on our YouTube page. Today's episode is called Is It Generosity or Something Else? Presented by Dr. KB Napier. Visit christiandoctrine.com or email info@christiandoctrine.com to learn more.
On one occasion, a woman told me how generous her husband was. Frankly, I never saw it in action. In that particular case, any help would have been very noticeable. Indeed, the opposite was evident in his reckless spending. Now, as Christians, we are called upon to be generous with our money, our time, effort, etc. A true spirit of generosity will be seen in every aspect of a person's life. If no one really notices it, or when there are no actual signs of it, then is there really generosity? I say this whether or not generosity is seen publicly. A man might give generously without anyone else knowing, as it should be, but such giving will be witnessed in his general demeanour towards others. Is it generosity when a wealthy man gives what amounts to change in his back pocket that he won't miss? Is it generosity when someone gives help only when it is convenient to him or her? Is it generosity to reluctantly help someone who is in distress, but only for a short time because a favourite TV programme is coming on? Generosity is a state of mind and heart. The poor old woman spoken of in Matthew 12:41-44 gave all she had. And Jesus sat over against the treasury, and behold, how the people cast money into the treasury. And many that were rich cast in much. And there came a certain poor widow, and she threw in 2 mites, which make a farthing. Now Jesus noted how rich people threw a lot of their money into the casket, kept in the treasury of the temple. A poor widow threw in 2 mites, equal to a farthing. This was next to nothing, but it was all the money she possessed. Jesus spoke to the disciples about this, and said that though the widow put possibly the smallest amount into the coffers, she had given everything she had. The rich man threw in what they could easily afford and would not miss. So, who gave generously? It's very easy to be free with money when you have a lot of it. Many people do this and give large amounts, but there is no sacrifice and in some cases not even a thought. So there is no true altruism involved. But to give everything and be left with nothing and without the prospect of gaining any more income is far beyond what the rich man gives. One man gives for all sorts of reasons, the other give out of conscience, faith and love of God. Today rich people give to save tax, so few give freely or in abundance. I can usually tell when a person is generous. He or she has a personality and character that matches their generosity in every possible way. They will have a gentle love for others and think nothing of themselves. They are not a soft touch, but will help in any way they can when asked, and sometimes even when not asked, because they can see a need, money, assistance, emotional support, and so on. They ask for nothing in return and do not mention anything they give, whether money, time, effort, and so on, nor do they tell others. Now, such people act this way mainly because they love God first and are very aware of what they owe to the Father for sending the Son to die for them. Jesus gave all, and a man can copy this out of gratitude for everything God has given him. Generosity is not always about money. It can be anything. You ever ask someone to listen to your problem and he says okay, but looks at his watch every few minutes? Or he gives a hand to do something but has to escape after a while to get his supper? Or he does the worst thing possible by giving cash as a loan? This shows he knows nothing of what it is like to have nothing. and yet get demands for payments. A loan is the last thing a poor or desperate person needs. Can you see my point? A wealthy man has plenty and more. Does he understand that it does not belong to him? I can honestly say that everything I have, which is not much, belongs to God. I only use what he has given until the time comes for me to release whatever it is when I die. If it is not mine, so why should I keep hold of it at all costs? If someone needs something, who am I to deny it? When we think we are owed what we have in life, or we think we have worked hard for it, do we realize it is still not ours? Do we buy bigger and better things, from houses to shirts, to cars to expensive holidays? Or do we live modestly, and when asked for help of any kind at all, cash, objects, time, effort, empathy, do we give it without strings attached? All should be done with pleasure, or at least with happiness, giving glory to God for the privilege of helping. I expect the person who is saved to be always displaying the image of our glorious God, every moment of every day. No emotional detritus, no false expectations, no ridiculous demands on self or others. When we live for God, our happiness soon becomes joy, which will survive through all circumstances. Yes, every so often we can be stopped short for a time if struck by circumstances. But God knows we are only human and gives us quiet heavenly support and encouragement. So our Christian personality, yes, there is such a thing, will continue to shine through. It is how we recognize and live a truly saved and faithful life, so that everyone around us also recognizes it. This is the really generous person. He or she has time for others without stint, because he or she has given their life to God. Remember, you are not your own, and neither is everything you have accrued in this life. It all belongs to God, and when we know it and show it, we become more Christ-like, and from it all, we become generous. So, to sum up, Isaiah 32:8 says that generosity is a sign of liberality. The liberal devises liberal things, and by liberal things shall he stand. In other words, generosity is a state of mind and heart that arises from the generosity of God towards us. We give of ourselves because Christ gave us salvation, and nothing belongs to us but to God. Generosity or liberality makes the soul noble because it freely gives without reluctance. We must not be like Ananias or Sapphira. We must either give from the heart or not at all. To give whatever it is reluctantly or with secret thoughts that we give, that it's our own, is not generosity at all, but a sinful desire to keep what we have for ourselves, even though what we have is by the grace of God. To put it simply, be generous with discernment, but because not all calls on our generosity, whether physically or mentally, are genuine. So we must let God decide.